questions about the Waystar, so who's smart? It is the... What week are we in? So Letitia, so tomorrow I can be paid off. I'll give a cheat sheet for the 8 wastes if you want. That's all right. So okay. So just make sure we're going to name those off first. Okay. I'm cheaper than Tim though. All right. Yeah, we're not paying by the height. So. All right. So today we have a lot load coming in at 9:30. So make sure they're going to do inventory again about the wires. So they're going to be in here every Monday. So Monday at 9:30. Okay. We had an improvement. Bathroom schedule's up too. Make sure you check the bathroom schedule. It's updated. Alright, there it is. Alright, so obviously over by 70, is it 79, Nick? Or 78? Press 2? I'm sorry, press 2. Alright, obviously the hose was curled up and it was zip tied to make sure it doesn't leak instead of replacing the hose. So Nick went and took it, wrapped it up and actually put a fitting on the end of it, so a quick disconnect. So, you know, obviously it's a lot better than cutting the zip ties off and re-zip tying and everything. So let's give Nick a hand for fixing the problem that we had, okay? He didn't just walk away and walk past it. Remember, if you see something that's a problem and you don't pass it up and you don't fix what you know is a problem, you're just as much to blame as the person who left it, okay? So we want to make sure. All right, so we're talking about training. The creators of the training agonized on over how to strike an appropriate balance. When the Toyota Way 2001 was first spread globally, every executive and manager and leader in the company was required to go through this training. In the classroom, they were taught the basic tenets of the Toyota Way. They learned the words and the concepts behind the words, and also studied the basic history of Toyota, and learned how famous Toyota leaders thought about the concepts. Within Toyota, that abstract classroom training would never be enough. The student was exposed to ideas, but did not develop any real skills. The training included case studies to solve, and then managers identified real problems from their region. Then they had to go back and work on solving the real problems. In addition, each manager then had the responsibility to go back to their areas and train all of their staff in the same class. This accomplished 2 main benefits. The first is the well-known principle that the more a person teaches something, the better they learn it. But the main point was that by teaching it all to all their subordinates, they were involved in the discussions, questions, challenges that were brought to them by the people, highlighting areas needing improvement. At the end of the training sessions, the leaders were now accountable, face to face with all their people, not only to follow the Toyota Way themselves, but also to be the champion and guardian of it for the entire section. There were mentors available for day-to-day coaching. At the executive level, this included executive coordinators in Japan. But by this point, there was a strong cadre of American managers who had deeply learned the Toyota Way through years of mentoring and experience, and now could be mentors themselves. Over the years, classroom training has become a more central part of learning at Toyota. Classroom training is efficient. We can get exposed to many concepts in a short period of time. One of the complaints of Americans who were trained by Sensei in the early days is that they were told what to do, but not why it should be done that way. It was a process of discovery, and arguably they wanted it to be spoon-fed. Regardless, Americans wanted to know why. Classroom training can explain the whys. There is a recognition in Toyota that part of learning is developing an understanding of basic concepts. Organizing those thought patterns is useful, but within the practical manufacturing-oriented world of Japan, this abstract learning must be converted as quickly as possible into actual skills and actions. So every course has some sort of action component. It is recognized that people do not really assimilate the learning and do not develop practical skills by simply listening to an instructor. They have to do something themselves and have some eye-opening experiences. There are a variety of exercises and hands-on simulations of practical shop floor activities to provide this experience. I think it's if you ever go to a class or a seminar, I think they tell you that it's about 5 to 7% you'll remember. You're going to take 5 or 7% out of the whole day of this class because you're going to remember those things and you're going to keep putting those through your head, and then all this other stuff's going on and you sort of forget those things. So that's why it's got to be practical work experience. We got this video from FastCat.